as I was sharing in the short 5D Mystic here in the Enlightenment Soul Age Group, Functional Adults, we're going to chit-chat about that lovely divine masculine and divine feminine. So I don't do introductions, you can look me up, but I'm attachment and trauma informed, which is most important. And actually, I am informed of how our brain works from the inter or inner, it's pronounced inner, but I know there's a T there, so interpersonal neurobiology framework. It's Mindsight Institute. You can go take the course yourself. In the meantime, I learned a lot about our brain, which is awesome. And as a 5D mystic, I had already noticed that the 4D collective keeps on going on and on and on in spiritual bypass ways. So people who want to Peter Pan because they're basically human beings who do not know about attachment and trauma informed. Let me stay on track. Okay, so they don't know about integration of the brain and how the brain works when it's integrated, which means your mammalian birthright heritage and a lot of words that some of you are like, what? Okay, let me explain then. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. You can look him up, and Mindsight Institute. Okay, so we'll start with this first. Because see, I have twin flames. I know the 4D likes to make these little rules like teenagers do that tells people how to follow into a little box so they can be part of a herd. That's why there's Peter Pans with the lost boys. So a person who's a mystic who needs somebody to tell them about their actual oversoul, the minute I began to see it, I was not questioning what was going on because I know a Peter Pan and a lost boy group when I see one. And so here's where, I should start with divine feminine. It's our lovely body, and divine masculine. It's the mind. Yeah, we're going to do it right here. Your own mind. Mindset is everything. And when you can unconditionally love, because you know how to love yourself first, there's romance for your own body. It's called you being able to be in your regulated nervous system, which I thank you, Mother. I have a whole 3-year-old heart. No shame, because I was, thank you, Gabor Mate, lovingly accepted. Did not work for love. I got to express all of the basic emotions, all of them. And in fact, as a 44-year-old woman, I get to hear sometimes, don't you? You're rude. No. I should have spanked you more, stuff like that. And we tease about it. Okay, so I got to continue to have a really great relationship. In fact, when I think, oh my gosh, my blank canvas is amazing. So my divine masculine and feminine have always been in harmony. It's called somatics, if I remember correctly. Body, mind, harmony. All of you can have it. It's your mammalian heritage. But see, you need to want to be human, which a secure attachment person will, because we have a whole self. And we can stay connected to pure consciousness, which is what I did. I stayed into my giggly energy body of my 3-year-old self. So we all have charged parts. This is from my other courses on trauma, not Daniel Siegel yet. Integration of the brain has not yet started. That one's going to get explained in a minute. But what I want to share is, so integration, important. You need to have bilateral integration. So that means that anything that comes up, sensations, images, affects, meaning, behavior, so anything that comes up, you know how to handle it, which is why we do a pacha handshake. I know since I was a teenager, I chose I'm going to keep my heart open because all these teenagers don't know what they're doing. And now that I'm a grown-up, they're still teenagers. But it's called the adaptive child. So people relive their childhood environment again and again and again. In fact, Terry Real is a great therapist for couples if you want one who's actually on board with supporting to get out of the whole toxic patriarchal and stopping with the stereotypes, gender, all of the limited consciousness people. Yeah, so he supports people to become their whole self, and he, like Patrick Tiahan is a childhood trauma survivor who's healed and healing and a therapist. And he also, they both make a point to say people are confused when they're told to love themselves first. And I'm like, no, not all people. Some of us, we're not confused. Thank you, Mother. I know exactly how to love myself first. And yeah, don't do anything that I don't like because it's my life to live. That's a 3-year-old. And I won't come and bug you either. I won't come and impose myself in any way, shape, or form. I will ask of your time, though. So that will be selfish of me. Because if I'm asking your time, obviously I'm asking for you to share something very important. You have 24 hours. So do I. Okay, so when you're able to be flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable, this is Daniel Siegel's acronyms, it's because you have consciousness, because you have integration of the brain, so nothing goes offline. You stay in your prefrontal cortex. This is the higher social engagement system. So when you have harmony with your own oversoul, which you do, your own twin flame or flames, and again, the only people who are making rules are teenagers because they need to fit in a group. We all know how spiritual bypassers work. The ones of us who are actually in the 5D state of consciousness and beyond, and mystics in a way of having a relationship with the sphere. It's space and time. We move beyond spirituality concepts, by the way, because it's not that they're not true, it's that we move beyond infinite higher human consciousness potential experiences. Integration of the brain allows flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable. But furthermore, it's because your right mode, thank you, Daniel Siegel, sits with the unknowns, unexpected, everything that contradicts, and it allows it just to sit there. And there's Shiva, thank you, Sadhguru. There's the darkness of nothingness. And so when you're a whole 3-year-old heart, you can sit with the left, no, the right. Oh, the left is our verbal one. That's a chit-chatter. So for my brain, it's always silent because I have fun in it. When I'm playing, I'm painting. And the left doesn't create stories because I don't do storytelling. I do, I got some data going on. Let me take it all in. Oh, it doesn't contradict itself because I'm able to keep A, B, C, D. It's practice to achieve integration of the brain. And since I've had fun with my entire divine masculine and feminine my entire life, I have a good time with me, Maria, the human being here. Okay, so this is why we have no sagas. When we meet people that are of our oversoul, we automatically know it's a playground. And when you meet people who are Cuscos, so they backstab, they lie, all this great stuff, yeah, be a teenager, anyone who was a child, teenager. Yes, I learned how too sensitive is a word that means nothing to me because we're all sensitive. Thank you, Patrick Tiahan. As he points out, some of us were able to own it, so I was able to own it, and also say, I'm not going to play with you all because you don't actually respect that I'm sensitive. So thank you, Mother. I learned how to say, no, I'm not going to follow you, teenagers. You're all actually quite unnecessarily inconsistent. Oh, wait, that's right. You have low self-esteem. I don't. I'm choosing to have self-esteem. It's called healthy self-worth, which is why we're not confused about loving ourselves first. Don't try to plug my nose. I'm going to run away from you. Okay, so integration of the brain is when you can sit with your emotions and your thoughts, which most people don't want to. They're going to be like, I don't want to do personal development. I want life now, which I've seen after people who are definitely making it a point to say, therapy is a good thing for you. And I'm thinking, didn't you learn about window of welcome for your emotional stuff and to grow up instead of that? Because I know I still have a 3-year-old with my mother when I whine to her. Don't whine to me. Don't calm down. So my actual child parts, they still come forth, but with the one secure attachment figure. So you're going to have at least one. I did. Thank you, Mother. And maintaining a differentiation of the self was actually straightforward. In fact, I shared with Daniel Siegel a story thanks to the FAQs, and I found out that my 3-year-old is and was a differentiated self, which means my thoughts and my feelings are mine, and mine is Maria. And in fact, just go ahead and ask my mother how stubborn I am with everything and anything. And that's why I said, yep, you didn't spank me enough, and too bad, so sad, it's late. But really what it is, she did spank me, but she would explain to me things. That's called repairing rupture. And so if you learn anything about the ideal parenting style so that a person can be securely attached and have the potential to have what is integration of the brain capacity, so divine masculine, again, your mind, divine feminine, your body, sensations come up, I learned how to regulate my nervous system. That's all. That's all this is. In fact, panic attacks. I know how to handle the uncomfortable and comfortable and not be like some people who go on YouTube channels. Nutshell Lady gave a great presentation of how one dude resolved his panic attacks, and this one person's like, so that means we have to sit with it. So once again, it's like, do you not understand what they're explaining to you about your embodied brain? Are you a 3-year-old? No, you can't be a 3-year-old. You're a teenager now. I remember teenagers. On a Friday afternoon, I asked a question. Do we have homework? Boo! So I know teenagers don't like learning. I love learning. In fact, I want to learn more. And that's why we talk about personal development, how to do it the emotionally grown-up way, and no sagas, twin flames, choice points. That's all our oversoul are. We get to grow up and have fun. The human love narrative over here. So we have whole 3-year-old hearts, and our blank canvases are built with pachas, Cuscos, you name it, the squirrels. We know how to handle the adaptive child who doesn't know how to love themselves first. We have a shirt on, thank you, Maya Angelou, and we give them a shirt because we want to walk, and our herd is humanity. So enlightenment the human way. You can be enlightenment soul age group. Some people don't know how to be it, but we can explain it. Who's we? The mystic over here. Come and tune in to our lovely podcast episodes and subscribe to YouTube. Ask your questions. We have paid subscription-based model content for personal development and then free FAQs, curiosity. We'll talk more today on the episodes on the podcast. So tune in for more.